All right. South Asia's natural resources. Can you tell me or elaborate about which natural resources are the most important for South Asia's large population? Can you elaborate about the South Asia's population most important natural resources?
Can you repeat the question?
Again, can you tell me what are the natural resources that can be found there in South Asia? Riem Guda?
The rivers, the three rivers, the Indus and the Ganges.
So you mean the water resources? You
Yeah,
mean this? Okay. Who else? Maya?
Productive land as well as water and mineral resources.
So we have actually plenty or variety of resources there. Although South Asia has many natural resources, but actually they are not evenly distributed. They are not equal at each area. So in South Asia, where are the most productive land? In South Asia, where is the most productive land? Okay, Hannah Hamdi.
India has the most productive land as well as water and mineral resources.
Thank you very much. Actually, also India is the largest country as long as India is the largest country, and at the same time, it has the most important mineral, water, and productive land there. So most Asian actually rely, as Maya mentioned, on rivers for irrigations, drinking, and household, and also for transportation. So again, who can tell me the importance of water, or why do they rely on water? نور الماحي.
They rely on water for irrigation, drinking, and household water and transportation.
Thank you very much. So water resources are the most important resources there. But today it's also an important of energy. Who can tell me how can we use water as a source of energy? Okay. Fadia? Fadia, can you tell us how we
Fast
can...
flowing rivers.
Uh,
Fast
yes?
flowing rivers used to generate electricity.
Thank you very much, Fadia. Yes, actually, fast-flowing rivers are used to generate electricity, and also several dams can be built there. Okay, we have a very important project on the river in South Asia. Who can tell me about it? A very important project that was built there. Maya,
Miss, can you please say the question again?
a very important project was built on the South Asia's river.
Oh yes, the Narmada River project.
Yes.
They're being built, but hundreds more are planned. The Indian government argues that the project will provide water for drinking, irrigation, and electricity.
Thank you very much. Actually, there was a very important project there, which is the Narmada River project, which is being built, but 100 more are planned to be built there because India has a lot of population. And the Indian government actually argues now that we will provide water for drinking, irrigation, and also at the same time for electricity. Okay. But actually, they are building dams for another reason. What's the other reason for building dams there? Because rivers will do what? Kenzie Tahan,
Miss, can there is a question again?
again, they're building rivers for a they're building dams for certain regions because they're questioning that the rivers will do a damage. What kind of damage?
There will be no electricities because will be no have a lot of.
They are afraid that there will be a damage because of the rivers. What's this damage? Judy?
Hydropism,
لا, listen to them يا كنزي. Judy?
flooding.
Flooding. Because of the rivers there, we know that the most important or the most crucial problem of having rivers is the flooding. and they are afraid that flooding could destroy the area there. This is the other point of view and the ecosystem. So they are favoring the small scale projects and the traditional way to manage their water needs. Remember the picture that I show you at the beginning of the lesson? Do you remember this?
Yes.
And do you remember how did they use water in a very traditional way, very primitive way here? Here, can you see the picture now?
Yes.
So now you know the reason that why they are using this. Who can tell me what's the reason? Let me see.
Misa,
Uh,
can you repeat the question?
Ah, yes.
Again, remember I saw you this picture at the beginning of the session. They were handling the water supplies in a very primitive or a very traditional way. Although they have plenty of water sources. Now you know what's the reason behind this? Why do they prefer to handle water in a very primitive way? Okay, Fatima, go ahead.
Well, to manage water needs.
Mhm. Why they're managing their water needs in this basic way? Reem Gouda?
Uh, Well, I'm not sure, yeah, but I think
Huh?
any rivers are considered sacred
Yes.
in Hinduism, the main religion in India.
Rivers are considered a, please Yarim, repeat.
Rivers are considered sacred in Hinduism, the main religion in India.
You're talking about, no, it's not about being scared and something like this. No. We said here, and we mentioned here, I will repeat this. We have mentioned that we have pointed out that these areas must be flooded to build dams. So this will displace millions of people to destroy and also the ecosystem. That's why they favor to smaller scale projects and traditional ways to manage their water needs because they're afraid if they are going to build dams, they will have flood and flood will be destroying the ecosystem and displace millions of people. Displace means to move them from their place to another place because of the flooding. Okay? Now you know what I mean? Why they are handling their water supplies in a traditional way. Who can tell me? Okay, let me ask. Ali Sham.
Because they are afraid that flooding can destroy their area.
Mhm. And will displace people in other areas. Will displace people in other areas. Thank you, Ali, very much. So again, the water resources in South Asia. Who can tell me what's or elaborate about the water resources in South Asia? Again, from the beginning. Hannah Hamdi,
Miss, can you repeat the question?
elaborate about the water resources in South Asia from the beginning.
It's an important source of energy for. It's an important source of energy for it. They build dams. They build dams, and an important project for it is the Narmada River.
Yes.
And they use it for irrigation, drinking, and household water, and transportation.
Thank you very much. Lujain Noman, Luji, water is a very important source of energy. How? Lujain Noman. Water is a very important source of energy. Can you tell me how? Luigi? Okay, if you're not here, to be put in the waiting room. Lujain Ayman?
Ah, yes, Miss.
Okay, tell me how water can be a very important source of energy.
يعني they use it for electricity
Yes? Huh?
and transportation.
For the energy, they are using the flooding water to generate electricity, as Fadia mentioned. And also, it is a very important way of transportation. Thank you, Luigi. And
Yeah.
let's move to the problems there. They have like many projects to build dams over the rivers, but they're having a very important problem. Who can tell me why they are not building more dams? Let me see, Khadija. Khadija?
But can you say the question again?
Again, Khadija, wake up, please. Why they are not building more dams over the river? Listen to the answer from your friends, Khadija, and you're going to repeat. Hannah Hamdi, sorry, Hannah Magdi.
Miss, is my hand raised?
No, Hannah Durgam. Okay, go ahead.
Because of the flooding
Yes. What will,
and
mhm,
destroy of the ecosystem
yes. And it will
and
also displace.
millions of people.
Yes, thank you very much, Hannah. Khadija, now repeat the answer, please.
Because of flooding and
What will the flooding do? What will the flooding do? It will displace people and destroy ecosystem. What will the flooding do?
display there's destroys the ecosystem and then displace
Yes, displace people and destroy ecosystem. Okay, let's move to the next part, which we will talking about the mineral resources. The mineral resources in South Asia. Who can tell me what are the mineral resources in South Asia? Elaborate about it.
Miss, can I say?
Okay, go ahead.
Iron ore, manganese, and chromite, they are all used in making steel.
Repeat again.
It includes iron ore, manganese, and chromite, and they're all used to make steel. And it has India has large quantities of mica, and it's a rock used to manufacture electrical equipment.
Thank you very much, Hannah. Actually, we said that the mineral and the energy resources are right there. India, actually, as Hannah mentioned, has the most of South Asia's mineral resources too, which include iron ore, manganese, and chromite, which are all used in making steel. Also, India has a large quantities of mica, which is a rock used to manufacture electrical equipments. What about Nepal? Who can elaborate about Nepal natural resources? Nepal natural resources. Maya?
They have the resources includes mica and copper. They also have the finest, including sapphire and rubies or graphite.
Okay. Sri Lanka. Who can tell me about Sri Lanka? Okay, let me see. Hala? Go ahead, ya Hala.
Sri Lanka boasts some of the world's finest gemstones, including sapphires and rubies, and also has large quantities of graphite.
Which is the lead? The lead is used in? Lead is
That
used
is
in.
used in pencils.
Sorry, I can't hear you again, please. Lead is used in?
And it's the lead that is used in pencils, and graphite is also used in batteries and lubricates.
Thank you very much, Yahala. Also, we said that Nepal has natural resources include mica and copper. To the south, we have Sri Lanka's boats, which are the most or the finest, one of the finest gemstones, boasts which are the finest gemstones, also including spheres and rubies. Sri Lanka also has large quantities of graphite. Graphite is used in lead as lead in pencils and in batteries. Also, South Asia has several important petroleum reserves. Who can tell me where are they located? We have oil or petroleum reserves. Kenzie Tahan.
They are located in North Pakistan and near Cygnus Delta and explored in the Arabian Sea that yield some oils. And also the uranium are located
Or discovered.
and uranium are located in India.
Okay, so about oil reservoirs, thank you, Kenzie. Who can tell me again about the oil reservoirs? Let me بقى choose someone. Okay, فرح. هنا الحلو. هنا الحلو. هنا الحلو. جنى. جنى. Guys, if you're not answering, I will put you directly in the waiting room. Consider you absent. I erase the absence. Habiba, Laizabi?
Yes.
Tell me about the oil reserves. Kenzie just that. Where are the oil or the petroleum reservoirs?
South Asia.
Yes.
They are located in northern Pakistan
Yes.
and near the Ganges Delta.
Yes, it's near the Ganges Delta. Okay, thank you, Habiba. Let's move to someone else who can continue about the oil reservoirs. Lujaina Noman, is your mic opening now?
Yes, I يعني قفلته وبعد كده فتحته تاني.
Okay, please use English.
Okay. أبدأ إيه مثلا exploration ولا أقول حاجة تانية؟ Okay. Exploration in the Arabian Sea has yielded some oil. One offshore oil field was discovered in the mid-1970s, about 100 miles west of Mumbai coast. The field accounted for a large portion of India's domestic oil production. Overall, South Asia depends on imported oil. Natural gas fields are found in northern Pakistan.
I'm just talking about the oil reservoirs, and I don't want you just to read. Tell me, where exactly can you find them? In northern Pakistan.
In northern Pakistan.
And also near
the Ganges Delta.
Yes, and also you said that we have exploration where?
In the Arabian Sea.
In the Arabian Sea, which you can find some oil. We also have one offshore oil field. One offshore oil field was
discovered in the mid-1970s.
Yes, where?
And it's about 100
on
miles.
the west of?
In the west of Mumbai.
Mumbai, or they call it Bombay coast, okay? It's accounted for a large portion of India's domestic oil production. Where exactly is India's largest oil production located? It's in Bombay.
Northern. Okay, tamam.
Okay, thank you. Now South Asia depends on imported oil. Now South Asia depends on imported oil. Yani you don't just produce oil. Now a large part of it depends on imported oil. What about the natural gas fields? Where are they found? Natural gas fields. The natural gas fields. Let me see. Aysel الرفاعي. Aysel الرفاعي. Okay, she's not here. Put in the waiting room. Hala.
Natural gas fields are found in the southern Pakistan and in Bangladesh.
Bangladesh, yes.
Bangladesh, yes. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Yes. Natural oil reserves are found in southern Pakistan and in Bangladesh. Also, we said that India has a very important deposit of uranium north and eastern of the Ghats, and uranium is used to nuclear power plants. Uranium is used for the nuclear power plants, okay? So again, let's start our mineral resources from the beginning. The mineral and the energy resources from the beginning. Where is most of South Asia's mineral resources are located? Most of the natural resources or mineral resources are located where? Hana Durgam? Hana Durgam.
in South Asia, India.
Yes. India and South Asia. This is most of the mineral resources are located. They are including which mineral resources are there. Let me ask Reem Gouda.
In India, we have iron ore and manganese and chromite, which is used to make steel, and mica.
Okay. Which mica is used for?
It's the rock used to manufacture electrical equipment.
It's used for manufacturing. Yes. Okay. Then we'll be talking about in Nepal. In Nepal, what kind of natural resources can you find in Nepal? Judy Baouf?
Mica and copper.
You can find mica and copper. What about Sri Lanka? Sri Lanka will find
Me برضه. Well, someone else.
okay, someone else. Yes, I will have Rashwan, Ahmed Rashwan.
Yes.
What kind of natural resources or mineral resources, to be accurate, can be found in Sri Lanka?
Graphite, mineral sands, and limestones and gems.
Yes, you can find the graphite, which is used in the lead pencils and batteries. You can find rubies, and you can find the sapphires. Okay.
Did I say it right? Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's move to South Asia's important petroleum reservoirs. South Asia's important petroleum reservoirs, they are found in Ali Shem.
They are found in northern Pakistan and near the Ganges Delta.
Yes, and we have some exploration where?
In the Arabian Sea.
In the Arabian Sea. Then we said that one offshore oil field was also found, which is India's most important oil reservoir, was in Mumbai. Okay, then the field was accounted as a large portion for India's domestic oil production, but overall we said that they depend on imported oil. What about the natural gas fields? Natural gas fields. Let's see. Jana, you're following now? Jana?
Miss هو السؤال can you see the hands؟
Yes, I can see the hands, but I want to choose.
ماشي.
Okay. What about? Okay. Who can tell me about the natural gas fields? نور الماحي.
Natural gas fields are found in southern Pakistan and in Bangladesh. India also has an important deposit of uranium north of the Eastern Ghats. The uranium is used in the country's nuclear power plants.
Last question, then I will end the session. If in there they have uranium and it is used to the country nuclear power plants, you know what does it mean? Nuclear power plants? Anyone knows what does it mean?
أعتقد.
Okay, Nano, tell us.
It's a very destructive force يعني it's used in war.
Yes, it's used in war as a very destructive weapon actually. If they're using this, if they're going to use this, what will happen?
They'll be hated by government.
What will happen if they're going to be using this? Who can tell me? يعني from your point of view. حلا?
Can you repeat?
Can you read the question again, please?
Again, if they're going to use nuclear powers or nuclear plants, how can this be destructive?
Nuclear powers.
Yes. If you don't know about nuclear powers, whether they have good effects or side effects, I will leave this question for next session. I want you to search, all of you, about the good effects of having nuclear power plants and the bad effects of having nuclear power plants. Please write them down and I will start my next session with it. Tell me what will happen to a country if they're having nuclear power plants. Can the country be rich? Is it destructive only or does it have good effects for the country?
Miss, is it a question from
Miss,
the
can
book
you
or
repeat the
is it
question?
something we search?
لا لا لا, something you search for and I'm waiting for the answers next session inshallah.
Miss, can you repeat the
Yes.
question?
Again, how can we use the nuclear power plants in a good way and in a bad way? Or is it only used in bad ways? Is it destructive or it can be used in helpful and useful ways? How can it help a country or destruct a country or destroy a country? This will be a research question for next session, inshallah. I will start my session with it like a debate. Okay? Let me stop share. Let me check
Oh,
something before I end the session. We have only 4 minutes about the attendance.
oh,
We're checking the people who is absent. Hassan is not here yet.
yeah.
Mu'min, Nur Mahdi, Nur Mahdi, Usama Gizi,
He's not here yet.
Yusuf. Okay. Yalla, see you next session. Bye.
But